Alright, what is up, Twitch peeps? Stream's going good there, and there we are on YouTube. What's up, everybody? How are we today? We're doing just a short stream early this morning. We've got the new phase of Prismeverse Clash is coming out in about 15 minutes, so I just wanted to be on to stream a little bit of that and to mess up my schedule so that I can do my 24-hour stream starting at 10 p.m. Pacific tonight. So I'm going to do midnight to midnight my time on my birthday. Hey, what's up, Nimanja? What is up? So we're just going to try and get like 3 or 4 hours in this morning. Take a look at the new phase for Prismeverse Clash. Try and get ourselves up to level 40 real quick. Maybe get started on our tier 5 gear. And yeah, just take a look at what's going on. We've got the Berzerkosaurus Rex. Should be coming this afternoon. I'm actually going to miss the first one because I'm probably going to be sleeping. It's supposed to reset at 1800 server time, which is 6 p.m. server time every 48 hours. So I imagine the first one will happen today at 1800. And then the next one probably won't happen until October 3rd at 1800. And that's when it says it resets. I don't know if that's when it's going to spawn or if that's just when it begins its ability to spawn. So we might not get the first Berzerkosaurus Rex until, like, say tomorrow, depending on what the spawn rate is looking like, and depending on how exactly that works. So there's some interesting potential going on there. We might see something kind of cool happen. I don't really know. The Berzerkosaurus Rex is a new deviation. I don't know if after it loses its trait to give away its prism energy so that you earn the prism energy for your Prismeverse Clash. So that is actually a trait that is applied to the deviations. So I'm kind of interested to see if once it loses that trait, if it will just become like, say, a Shephosaurus Rex instead of a Berzerkosaurus Rex, or if it's an actual new deviation with all new skills, because we haven't seen a ton of information about them, just that they exist in the game. So that will be an interesting thing to take a look at and see how that might change or what that might do when we get the Berzerkosaurus Rex. So hopefully we get an opportunity to see that. I'd really like to get one myself. There's only going to be, let's see, we've taken up 5 of the 19 days, so there's 14 days left starting with this phase. So there should be an opportunity for 7 Berzerkosaurus Rexes to spawn, 6 or 7. And so what that means is that there's only, if it's a totally different deviation, that means only 7 people are going to get a Berzerkosaurus Rex this season for this server out of the potentially thousands that are playing right now. And the same thing is going to be true of the next deviation that we get, which is the radiant one, which is just like the by the wind deviation. So this also refreshes every 48 hours at 1800. And so this one is going to only have like 3 or 4 of its deviation drops for this season. So these are going to be incredibly rare deviations to have. So I'm really interested to see what their powers are and whether or not they just turn back into their normal types when we get that prism energy out of them and secure them. That'll be really exciting to see. But if you do manage to get one and they are new, that's going to be a huge boon for you and something that you can trade for some really great stuff in the future. So we are just kind of in a holding pattern here. Actually, something I need to do real quick is just go ahead and go do my little farm run. Do our farm run here because we need the electronics and stuff like that. And then this zone that I actually have kind of unlocked on the map already. This one over on the western side is going to be what opens up. I'm pretty interested to see, what kind of materials and resources and stuff we're going to get access to. We're not getting access to, like, the bear cave, for example, is never going to be open to us because this is going to be the edge of the map right here, all the way around. So there's a lot of stuff that's being cut out of this area over here. It's normally here, right? Like, all of this is not going to be in the game at all. All of this down here, all of this down here, which is normally in this scenario on this map, isn't going to be here anymore. We're getting a whole lot cut out of it, and it's just because they're trying to condense us into a smaller area so that we end up doing more fighting. But because we're not getting the end game area over here. This is going to be the phase 3 area. And it says it's a level 45 area. This is just a level, what, maybe 40 area? I don't know. Hey, what's up, Drone Geeks? How are you today? Welcome to the stream. So I honestly don't even know, are we going to be able to get the crystals that we require to even be able to make tier 5 gear? Or are we going to be in tier 4 gear for all of phase 2? And then we're not even moving into tier 5 gear until later. If that's true, then pulling resources to make tier 5 gear in the first week in phase 1 out of your Eternal Land is probably going to be the play for Prismeverse Clash, because you'll just kill everybody so fast that there really won't be anything that they can do about it. So that'll be interesting to see. I want to see if we're going to be able to get into tier 5 or not, and exactly how that's going to work with... You stop that. Bang. Die, little piggy. Little pig, let me come in. The rest of the map opens up with phase 2, right? I think I'm done with this season. No, Rabbit, the rest of the map is not going to open up with phase 2. We are only getting this section of the map in phase 2. In phase 3, we finally get this section of the map here. We're only getting one more contest zone, which I think is maybe going to mean that we're not even going to get tier 5 today. I think we might only get up to the tier 4 resources, which is going to be really interesting. But I gotta say, I saw your newest video from yesterday about, the different kind of power creep that we're experiencing in Once Human, and maybe some ways to mitigate that stuff. I thought it was a really good video. If y'all want to see an interesting take on, how the difficulty of the game could maybe be adjusted, and why the difficulty of the game seems to be so easy for some, Smoking Rabbit has a YouTube channel and actually put out a pretty good video about, his opinions on exactly why that's happening and what's going on, and what causes people to feel like maybe the game is too easy for them. So definitely a good watch if you're feeling that way. Event too limited, deviations too limited, hives preventing other faction members from getting deviations. It's really weird and not that fun. Oh, are hives on the other side actually trying to stop people from getting deviations? That's kind of annoying. I definitely think that there are way too few of the deviations spawning. I honestly think they need to multiply it by, at least 10, maybe 20 times. And if they want to keep the points the same, then they could just divide the points by that much. So every deviation could be just worth 1 point, and then you just have 10 times as many. Because I think you're right, there's just not nearly enough stuff going on. So, it feels like there's only ever one deviation being secured on each world per per faction. And so you're not getting, you know, it just becomes a huge faction war where there's just 2 focal points, 1 focal point for each faction, instead of, you know, the kind of insane all over the map fighting that I expected to be getting from this season. So I definitely would love to see a lot more deviations drop in a lot more ways. Rosetta hives of 12 taking over events, preventing others from getting deviations simply based on sheer numbers alone. That's really unfortunate, and I think you're right. I think having more deviations would alleviate that, because they just wouldn't be able to go and get all of those deviations. So there would be no choice but to make it easier for other people to get them. And while I think it's great that you want to have the faction all helping each other and not just staying to their hives, you also want there to be more variety of activity going on. And having more deviations would also allow smaller groups to participate a little more readily. So definitely that's something that needs to be addressed, I think. But instead of 100 a day, if we were getting 1,000 a day, I think that would be really nice. But it is a first pass. It was a first try. There's still some opportunity to make some tweaks and change it and just generally improve the scenario. I think the core of the scenario is really good. I think the concept is good. We've got to have better tracking on the map for prism energy. I have to be able to see you in real time. If you have a prism deviation, then as you move across the map, I need to be seeing that in real time so that I can try and ambush you. Because right now there's just no counterplay going on during the transit phase of taking a deviation from where you pick it up to where you want to secure it. And that counterplay could be an immensely fun part of this scenario. And it's just not even there. And that's really too bad. But maybe that'll get changed. Maybe we can raise a little Cain about it. I hate these fireflies. They always kick my butt. I just don't identify them as, like, legitimate enemies. And so I don't kill them, and then they start zapping me in the back. Also, you shouldn't be able to do the deviations at your base. You should have used a central area like Prime Wars locations, where you can equally fight/defend. People have bases in unreachable areas. You know, I like doing it at your base. I really think that's a cool idea. You are right that there are some spots that are difficult to get to. And you can do things like stick it in the ocean and you can't even get to it. But I think that's just something that needs to be addressed on a per area basis. You know, maybe set up zones where you have to put your base in order to secure your deviations. But I certainly wouldn't want to have pre-built structures that you were doing the securements in. I would want people to be able to bring their own bases with them. So, yeah, I mean, maybe open up those areas, but then, you know, bring people to drop their bases there, and that's where you do your securement. Because I wouldn't want to see pre-existing structures be what we were using. Because then there's no creativity with that, and then the base rating just gets stale. Because you would just be rating the exact same base every time. And there would be no potential for surprises or anything like that, and I don't think that would work really well. But maybe having an area where you could only put your base in this spot, like that would be alright. So when I have those groups of 12, they run the deviation back to that unreachable base. You look at the Rosetta list, it's one guy who's done like 35 deviations, his score's like 350. Oh wow. Yeah, well that's probably a streamer or something like that, and everybody in their group is just giving him all their deviations. And he's probably got more than one hive going. And so he's just racking up points from all kinds of different places. And that's not really so much a problem with the scenario itself as much as it is a problem with the social media aspect of gaming nowadays. That just happens a lot, which is unfortunate. I can't actually see the personal scores of the Rosettas. It only lets me see the personal scores of the Mayflies. I don't know why I can't see the Rosetta scores. I feel like that would be cool. But whatever. It would give me the ability to target, like, you know, if you could see who the top performers were in the opposing faction, then you could target those people to try and keep them. Rosetta, I find it weird. That's not fair to everyone else. It's a problem because you have individual rewards, but you have people who can't obtain those rewards. Yeah. The rewards should just be, or not should be, not that I think they should be, but that they are going to be just an increased number of the rewards that everybody's going to get. So they aren't getting a special reward, they're just getting more of existing rewards. And I think it's good to encourage players who play a lot to do a lot for their for their faction by racking up a lot of points. But because of the way the system's created, it encourages, hey, what's up, friends? Yeah, we're just trying to get a stream out of the way for this new phase that's dropping in 1 minute, actually. Got a prism last night by lag luck. What do you mean by lag luck? Hey, Clash at Blackfell. Alright, let's take a look here. We got some season goals. I'm gonna claim those bad boys. Get all my goodies here. Alright, we get our 2 new, so we are getting mimetic cleansers. And we got ourselves some Starchrome here, that's great. We're up to 2,700. The phase info, so we've already read through the phase info and stuff. We know we're getting the Berzerkosaurus Rex. We've got our new wish machine stuff, so we're gonna go do our wish machines real quick. I secure it while lagging? Oh, okay. You get the good crate at the end. When I open the crate, you get 1,500 Starchrome. Then you drop the crate, and if 20 people open it, you get another 1k Starchrome. Yeah, that's the firework crates, right? And I have to make sure and get a bunch of people and do a whole lot of that. Alright, so this zone is open. I've got one more chest that I want to go get over here. We're probably just going to skip this boss that's over here. Go straight for this chest. Pull this chest out, then we're going to teleport back, get all healed up, fix our sanity, and then we'll go see about doing some of this tier 4 stuff and getting our wish machine. We definitely want to finish out this wish machine. But you are right, Rabbit, it does promote a negative style of play. To have those personal rewards like that, because it encourages individuals to sort of take over a faction and get a bunch of people to sort of donate their points to them so that they can win, to ensure that victory. And so they definitely could find a better way to go about that, I think. Even maybe taking away the personal rankings altogether, or making it so that you can't drop the prism deviations, so you can't just give them up, so it's whoever picks it up is the one who has to go put it in a securement unit. I think could maybe be a good way to prevent people from sharing that stuff and giving away their points. Just make it an absolute first come, first serve situation. Think I'd be okay with that. Okay. There was a wish machine around here somewhere. There it is. Let's do this real quick. I like this wish machine. I like to get my guns and stuff, and I got plenty of points here. So we're just gonna play through this whole thing and see what we get. Oh, we get another wildfire. That's nice. Getting more wildfire so we can tier that up another star probably. We got the new that shotgun. That's the fast gunner shotgun, which I don't have yet. Oh. Random bits and bobs. Hey, we got some fish. There's the memento. And booyah. And then at the end we get the extra memento fragments, which I love. We got our gun there, we got plenty of those, we got an extra 10 fragments here, so we're going to maybe get to tier these up. But getting 70 fragments for the wildfire is a pretty big deal here, because I get to go ahead and tier that wildfire up, and that is a weapon that I am going to probably want to use in the future. So that's pretty good. We want to go back here, we're going to get this desert one out. We're going to go ahead and play that, see if we can't maybe get some of the purple weapon, or some of the purple armors that we want. We got the Stormweaver gloves. That wasn't the gloves that were on there, it was a mask that was on there, right? So that's not the key item. Oh my goodness, and a Stormweaver jacket? What's up, Stormweaver pieces? And tornado pants? Oh my gosh, I'm getting so many legendaries here. And then Dusk Mask bonus fragments. So I didn't get the Dusk Mask in this at all, did I? Oh, okay, there's the Dusk Mask, but I don't have fragments. I don't really know what just went on with that. Lots of Falcon set pieces, that's good. Some earthy boots. I like the earthy boots. Those are pretty solid for the... You have a video coming out on what? Smoking Rabbit? Let's go to our blueprints here and let's level some stuff up. Get this wildfire. 107 of these. Nice. Get that put up to a tier 3. Are we gonna be able to get it up to a 4-star? I'm trying the Stormweaver set right now. I got it last scenario. You get Dust Mask frag. The Stormweaver was guaranteed for the banner. Oh, okay. I didn't realize the Stormweaver was guaranteed. Oh, a video on Prismeverse Clash. Okay, awesome. We'll keep my eyes out. Is that enough? Okay. So I can use up these 10 fragments to get this to a +4. And normally, I'm kind of against that, but I think I'm going to do it. Because the wildfire is just a good weapon. We'll take that up to a 4-star. Then I want to actually go over to my shotguns here. I just got this, and I think I have some extra fragments for it. Let's see if we can't tier that. Okay, it's not enough to tier that up. You have a ton of these other fragments though, my goodness, so we're gonna have to be using some of those soon. And then on our weapons we also got our memento, which we also have some extra fragments for. Is that 25 enough? Not quite. I think we're just gonna go ahead and use some of these blue fragments. Actually, let's not use the blue ones if we don't have to. Can we get enough with just these green fragments? Not quite. Alright, and then we just get 7 of those blue fragments in there. We'll definitely do that. I will definitely be looking out for that new video, Rabbit. Always like to watch your videos. Get that memento tiered up there. That's nice. That's real nice. Then we go over to our armor. I haven't really worked on tiering up any of my armor pieces. I am a total bum when it comes to that. We got our 25 fragments here, so we can use 7 of them to get this tiered up one time. And then I think maybe these 18 is enough. Yep, get this tiered up another time. Get that straight up to 3 stars, that's nice. What does that dusk mask even do? When triggering fast gunner, there's a 50% chance to automatically reload 1 bullet. That's a really nice mask for the machine gun, honestly. I really like that. Let's see, we have the Stormweaver set fragments. Okay. So we can get any of the Stormweavers, then. Is that correct? Any of the Stormweavers we don't have anyway. I already have Stormweaver boots, okay. I don't have the mask. Looks like the mask is the only one I haven't unlocked. What is this? Rolling stamina cost, magazine capacity bonus, that's a good one. Taking damage grants a stack of powered armor, damage reduction plus 4% for 10 seconds. Effect can stack up to 6 times, 24% damage reduction. That's just straight damage reduction too, that's crazy. Rolling consumes 3 stacks of powered armor and triggers an explosion that knocks back surrounding enemies. For each enemy hit, HP plus 5% up to 20%, cooldown 10 seconds. That is interesting. I don't know where that really does its thing, but I want to unlock it, so I just have all 6 pieces. Yeah, I don't know really where that's going to be at its best, but it certainly is interesting. I did get some falcon pieces. I've got that up to tier 6. Man, I've got a lot of these purples all the way up. That's pretty great. Here's that falcon. I've got a bunch of extra falcon pieces. So might as well get this bad boy tiered up too. This one all the way up to 4 stars, and I'll have 2 really good falcon pieces. I like the falcon set. It's pretty good. Okay, I'll deal with all this stuff later. That was fun for a minute. But let's get ourselves healed up. And let's go see about some of this new content. Let's see, what kind of levels are we looking at? 32, 30, 33, level 40. Hopefully that level 40 area, because the rest of these areas are just not high enough levels. So I think I'm actually going to go over here and clear this zone first, because it's going to be the most likely to be able to give me the tier 5 mats that I need to actually make my tier 5 equipment. And I really want, the powered armor is what I'm trying out. It's 50% damage reduction. How are you today, Fluffy? Oh my god, did my stream die? Yeah, it's definitely the stream is all jacked up. I'm dropping like 63% of frames on network issues right now. Why is this happening to me? Yeah, our bitrate. Yeah, it seems like nothing is going to get fixed here. There's obviously just an issue going on. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're actually going to get to do a whole lot of streaming. Yeah, sorry to cut this so short and only be on for 30 minutes, but it doesn't look like we're going to get any more stream out of this. So y'all have a great day, and I will see you in about 14 hours.